Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6.
There's life on Mars, that we have a way to describe how it might survive.
NASA announced a major discovery today.
And Varsity Pizza may be looking for a new home.
It's about 72 degrees outside with on and off showers. Find out your full weather forecast coming up.
Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Michael Tricarico, filling in for Topher tonight.
And I'm Claire Moran. Here are tonight's top stories.
NASA announced today that there is a chance for life on Mars. In a press conference earlier today, scientists confirmed the existence of water on the red planet. Scientists were cautious about diving too deep into the possibility of extraterrestrial life, but did mention that having water on the planet is a good indication to the possibility of microbes and other organisms existing.
If you noticed more people around campus than usual this past weekend, you weren't seeing things. Citrus TV reporter Nick Papantonis has the details on the thousands of guests who came for Family Weekend.
Just 1 month into the school year, new students already have great things to say about SU.
I've been here since like a month, and it's really great. I love the campus, I love the school spirit.
And last weekend, their parents and siblings were welcomed onto campus by photo booths, campus tours, and information sessions. Now, of course, Family Weekend was highlighted by thousands of people converging on campus for the Orange taking on the LSU Tigers in the Dome on Saturday.
We love it. This is a great day, and where the other folks are tailgating up at the top of the hill or whatever. Really nice, really nice.
Besides the marching band's performance, there were bouncy houses for the kids and a display by the Orange Girl. Also among the Sea of Orange supporters, 7,500 LSU fans who traveled from across the country to support their team.
This is how we travel, though. We always travel well anywhere we go.
1,500 miles. We play a game in Germany. We out there. The tailgating could be better, but the people are very nice. They're very accommodating.
Yep.
Beautiful. They're accepting their loss beforehand.
Although the Orange lost to the heavy favorites, that didn't dampen anybody's mood.
I'm just happy for my guys as long as they fight hard. Compete is the number one thing. They compete, we can go a long way. You can accomplish many things just by competing.
Reporting for Citrus TV News, I'm Nick Papantonis.
Have you got a photo from Family Weekend? Share them with us on Twitter and Instagram using @CitrusTVNews. And a suggested building complex on Marshall Street may go up where Varsity and Fagan's are currently located, but the famous Syracuse restaurants say they aren't going anywhere. The proposal includes a 10-story building with 2 floors of commercial space and 8 floors of residential space. The restaurants will maintain their ground-level storefronts in the new buildings.
Many SU students will leave their comfy dorms to live on the quad this week, and it's all for a good cause. The university will be hosting the 8th annual Shack-a-thon event, where student organizations build and live in small shacks for 3 nights. The goal of the campaign is to raise money and awareness of the state of poverty housing around the world. The event is sponsored by the SU and ESF Habitat for Humanity. And Felk College has officially opened its new nutrition center, marking another big step in the college's transformation. The center will provide more research opportunities for students in the nutrition program. The Felk College program director says it will also allow the program to stay one step ahead of accreditation standards. The center was founded from a donation by Rhoda Dearman Marisro, who is a class of 1969 SU alumna.
The Warehouse hosted the annual Empty Bowls fundraiser this past Friday. Citrus TV's Johnny Oliver tells us about the impact it has on the community.
The event was held to benefit the Interreligious Food Consortium. The organization provides canned food to various pantries across Onondaga County. It costs $20 to attend Empty Bowls. Attendants could help themselves to soup as well as taking home a handmade ceramic bowl. Various restaurants from across the county donated their soups to the event. A group of about 50 people, mostly consisting of SU students, made the 1,525 bowls that were available for attendance. The idea behind the name Empty Bowls is that you should leave with your stomach a little empty as a reminder that there are those in the community who are less fortunate. Peter Biesecker, the head organizer of the event, said last year the event raised enough money for 16,000 meals.
There's a need for it within the community. It's very beneficial for the students to see a broader world besides their university experience.
Students, as well as community volunteers, ran the event. James Boring was one of those students.
I've had a great time. It's been crazy busy, but everybody's getting great ceramics work and having a great time.
Boring worked at the wrapping station for the purchased ceramic bowls. The good vibes even inspired him to do a different kind of wrapping.
Welcome to the wrapping station. We'll wrap your bowl without hesitation.
This year's Empty Bowls was a success, and event organizers are hoping that next year's turnout is even bigger. Johnny Oliver, Citrus TV.
And elsewhere on campus, as students are arriving back to school, they may have noticed a few changes to an important building on the quad. Citrus TV news reporter Jeff Slauson shows us the updates made to Huntington Beard Krause Hall.
Last fall, Syracuse announced renovations would be done to Huntington Beard Krause Hall. Built in 1961, HBC was in much need of repairs to increase accessibility for the disabled population, as well as to update the building. While the updates are great, they came at a cost. The cafe in HBC has been removed, with some students angry with the change.
I completely disagree with that, to be honest. I feel that a cafeteria is just such a necessity to having like extremely long classes in such a used building.
It's a little rough. I like the cafe. They had some good sandwiches. It was convenient when I got right out of lecture. There's always a long line, but it was still easier than having to go somewhere else.
While some are not happy with the decision to eliminate the cafe, some are excited about what the updated building has to offer.
Both of the lecture halls are really, I think, up to date as far as technology goes. There's cameras and projectors and computers everywhere, so it's really nice.
Removing the cafe opened the opportunity for HBC to improve other areas, including new bathrooms, elevators, an update to the bottom floor, improvements in both auditoriums, and a charging station in the lobby, giving the building a more academic feel.
It has that new feel to it, so it's really nice inside. It's definitely somewhere that you want to go to learn. I think when you're in a nice facility, I think you take more pride in it, and so you do learn more just being in that environment. So it's really nice in there.
For the most part, the reception to the renovations here at HBC have been generally positive, with students applauding the fact that the school has done something to one of its older buildings. While the cafe certainly will be missed, the increased accessibility shows an improvement and that the campus is working toward becoming more disabled-friendly. For Citrus TV News, Jeff Slauson.
Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, the Pope has left the building and the United States.
You can say goodbye to that sunny weather for the next week. I'll have your forecast coming up after the break.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised.
Yes.
Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Thank you, dear. You're very supple.
It's like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
A former prison employee has been placed in prison today. Joyce Mitchell helped 2 convicted murderers escape from the Clinton Correctional Facility in New York State in June. Mitchell was sentenced today to 7 years in prison for her role in the escape. Richard Matt and David Sweat were on the run for nearly 3 weeks until authorities were able to capture them, killing Matt in the process. Mitchell allegedly provided tools for Matt and Sweat to cut through their cell walls and escape. House Speaker John Boehner said this weekend that there will be no government shutdown over Planned Parenthood funding. He has confirmed plans to pass a spending bill to keep the government going after money runs out on midnight on Wednesday. Boehner said he will work to clean up the mess in his final month before leaving the House of Representatives on October 30th.
The Pope is back in the Vatican tonight after his 10-day tour of North America. Pope Francis ended his trip in Philadelphia Sunday with a mass held on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway in front of thousands of people. The pontiff spent the last 6 days traveling from Washington, D.C., where he met with President Obama, to New York City, where he held Mass in Madison Square Garden and spoke at the UN. Then finally to the city of brotherly love, where Pope Francis gave a speech at Independence Hall and spoke with victims of sexual abuse. This was Pope Francis's first official visit to the United States and the first papal visit in nearly 50 years. General Assembly began its 70th annual session this morning. The focus of this year's meeting is on Syria. World leaders say they need to stop the spread of the Islamic State and regulate the surge of refugees into Europe. The UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon says the U.S., Russia, Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Turkey are the 5 nations that hold the key to peace in Syria. President Obama and Russian President Vladimir Putin met face-to-face for the first time in nearly a year.
Yes, realism dictates that compromise will be required to end the fighting and ultimately stamp out ISIL. But realism also requires a managed transition away from Assad and to a new leader.
We think it is an enormous mistake to refuse to cooperate with the Syrian government and its armed forces who are violently fighting terrorism face to face.
And France has launched
France launched airstrikes against an Islamic State group training in eastern Syria. French President François Hollande announced the strikes yesterday on the eve of the UN General Assembly in New York. Before this, France began flights over Syria earlier this month to gain information on ISIS group positions. Hollande also revealed the country is calling for a global solution to the Syrian crisis in hopes of protecting citizens from violence.
The Spanish Prime Minister vowed today that he will never allow independence for Catalonia. This announcement comes after pro-independence leaders won in crucial regional elections on Sunday. Prime Minister Rajoy says Sunday's votes were illegitimate and that it was breaking the law. Meanwhile, Catalonia's pro-independence alliance announced it will launch an 18-month process of secession from Spain. During this time, the alliance plans to set up institutions of state.
Airstrikes by helicopters flying from Saudi Arabia yesterday killed 30 civilians in a Yemeni village. Saudi authorities have dismissed these accounts and labeled them totally false. Saudi Arabia has been attacking the Iran-allied Houthi rebels from the air for 6 months in an effort to remove the group from the capital. This campaign has resulted in several mass killings of civilians. This attack came less than a day after Saudi Arabia announced that a brigadier general died in the hospital after suffering from wounds from an incident on the border with Yemen.
It was muggy and rainy today, but is sunshine in the forecast? Citrus TV weather reporter has your week's forecast.
Yeah, Claire, we didn't see much of the sun today, and nor will we see it for the rest of the week. The high was about 73 degrees today, which is much warmer than the average of 67 degrees. The humidity was high, about 75%. Looking into tonight, it's going to be 65 degrees, 60% chance of rain. So if you're heading outside, make sure to grab those rain boots and rain coats. Looking into tomorrow, it's going to be 72 degrees, high humidity again, 89%. The low is going to be 50 degrees. Here are the current temperatures throughout the states. Syracuse is sitting about 70 degrees. Further south, we see Southern California at about 102 degrees. And your current surface temperatures, there's a low pressure system heading through the Mideast and the Midwest. And here's a map of Syracuse. You can see a rainstorm is going northwest throughout Syracuse. And here's your full day forecast. Tomorrow is going to be 100% chance of rain. The high is going to be 72 degrees. We can see that Wednesday is going to be 80% chance of rain. The high is going to be 58. Thursday is going to be 59 degrees. Friday, 60. Saturday, 57 with a 60% chance of rain.
Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, the road to 2016 is heating up.
And we're talking Trump, Biden, and of course Hillary Clinton. Citrus TV News will be right back.
Nation, I'm Brianna Butler on the women's basketball team.
And I'm Trevor Cooney of the men's basketball team.
And the season is right around the corner.
You can get your first look at the teams at Orange Madness on Friday, October 16th.
Come watch us at the Carrier Dome for the first time this season. There'll be a dunk contest.
And after the scrimmages, come get selfies with the teams.
Hope to see you there. We nailed it. Killed it.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
New reports are showing that breakfast cereal sales in the U.S. are declining. U.S. shoppers spent $9.5 billion on cold cereal this year, but that's a 7-point decrease from 2012 when consumers spent nearly $10.2 billion. Some cereal prices have even reached $8 per unit. Cereal companies have also been shrinking package sizes to try and boost profits without raising the price of cereal. And Volkswagen faces legal trouble as state and federal investigators dive into the emissions scandal. Legal experts say the German automaker may face criminal charges for selling 11 million diesel vehicles with software designed to cheat emissions tests. The Environmental Protection Agency says the devices allowed the models to release 40 times the amount of harmful fuels. Volkswagen says it has set aside $7.3 billion to pay for the scandal.
Democratic presidential frontrunner Hillary Clinton said this weekend that she has done all she can by being transparent and taking responsibility about the use of her private email server while she was Secretary of State. She is continuing to answer questions about her intentions and has repeatedly said that there is only so much she can do. And GOP presidential candidate Donald Trump announced his highly anticipated tax plan today. Trump is calling out some of his own by promising to close loopholes for the 1% while lowering taxes for the middle-class Americans. Trump also promised to bring jobs back to America and, quote, take on the hedge fund guys as part of his plan.
Well, coming up on sports, we've got a whole bunch of nothing, but
Either way, Syracuse punter Riley Dixon and Nationals pitcher Jonathan Papelbon both threw punches this weekend. Guess who's got the bigger arm? Stick around to find out.
Jimmy can't sing and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Man, it was a weird weekend in sports. The Mets, yes, the Mets clinched the NL East, not anybody else. The Cubs, yes, the Cubs clinched a playoff spot. And if it couldn't get weirder, Syracuse football, yes, Syracuse football put up a solid fight against LSU. Was it enough to get the job done? Well, that's up for the highlights to decide. As we cut to them, Leonard Fournette rushing in for the 14-yard touchdown. They made it 7-0 LSU in the first quarter. We're going to fast forward to the second half. And honestly, Syracuse did a great job on defense. Not a great job here on special teams as Tre'Davious White takes it back to the house, 69 yards, a punt return for a touchdown, 17-3 LSU. Zach Mahoney, though, 5th-string quarterback, and he throws 3 touchdowns in this one. This one goes to Brisley Esteem, 17-10 LSU. But at the end of the day, it's all Leonard Fournette. He runs in 61 yards, touchdown run, 24-10 LSU. They'd win by 10. Here's Taryn Verkia with more on LSU start.
Against a top 10 team can be easy, especially if that team has a star player like Leonard Fournette. SU played hard, but couldn't stop the LSU running back from dominating the field in Saturday's game.
We have prepared for it in practice and everything, but Fournette, he a really great running back, so.
And all it takes is one guy out of his gap and another guy not fitting and replacing to a great football player like him, for him, I should say, to make a big play, and he did.
Fournette made a lot of big plays, racking in a total of 244 yards for the offense. And he says a game like this may just come from a good combination of all he's learned and the efforts of his team.
We did it all as a unit. That's one, the defense came out and made some great stops for us. Taking the time out, understanding the game, letting things come to me, not being impatient, making childish cuts you don't need to make. And I think that's the most important thing, our group.
Thanks, Taryn. Honestly, Syracuse gave a great effort on Saturday. Everyone thought the Orange would come out and play like the Miami Dolphins did against the Buffalo Bills yesterday. Thanks to Roger Goodell, we weren't able to show you the highlights, but that's okay because this one was not pretty. Final score, 41-14 Buffalo. Miami quarterback Ryan Tannehill threw 3 interceptions in the first half. Tyrod Taylor recovered nicely after his rough outing in New England. He threw 3 touchdowns. Miami falls to 1-2, but Buffalo improves to 2-1. And in the Meadowlands, the Jets lost to the Eagles 24-17 in what seemed like a must-win for Chip Kelly. Philly was up 24-0 in the first half, but somehow the Jets stormed back and put themselves within 7 with 2:32 left to go. But when it mattered most, the Eagles pulled through thanks to an illegal hands to the face penalty on the Jets. It's a good thing we don't have video of this one either. But in baseball news, Washington fans have something to celebrate about finally. The Washington Nationals announced today that Jonathan Papelbon has been suspended for 4 games for his fight against Bryce Harper. Papelbon, now currently serving a 3-game suspension for throwing at Manny Machado of the Baltimore Orioles, won't be seeing the mound until 2016, as 7 games remain in the regular season. Bryce Harper says there's no hard feelings between the two.
He apologized, so, whatever. I really don't care. I mean, it's next 6 days, and, keep doing what I'm doing. It's like brothers fighting. That's what happens, and, hopefully move forward and do what I can for the next 6 days to, have some fun and play the game.
We'll be right back.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
This new mom is struggling to get the skates just right. Now she's holding on for dear life.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back. Brittany, I got a miniature golf tee time in a little while here. What can I expect the weather to be like out there?
The weather's going to drop in the 60s, and we're going to see some showers. So grab a raincoat.
Not the best miniature golf weather.
Not at all.
Absolutely not. You may want to reschedule that.
Yeah, maybe.
And what about tomorrow morning? I don't have miniature golf, but I do have places to be. What do I got to wear tomorrow?
Okay, tomorrow, same weather. We need those raincoats and rain boots. So try not to go barefoot or in sandals or anything like shorts. We need to dress for this rain. So be prepared for that throughout the entire week.
So bring.
Be sure I have my umbrella.
Yeah, absolutely.
Umbrella.
That's what I was going to say.
Exactly.
Thanks, Brittany. Well, the first supermoon total lunar eclipse in more than 3 decades occurred last night. Take a look at some of these pictures.
Billions of people around the world were able to see the larger than normal moon turn a reddish gold color. The next supermoon total lunar eclipse will not happen again until 2033. And that's all the time we have for Citrus TV News Live at 6. To stay up to date on all of the day's top stories, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Citrus TV News and like us on Facebook too.
Be sure to tune in tomorrow for SA Today with Josh Bazan at 6.
I'm Claire Moran.
And I'm Michael Tricarico. Have a great Monday, Syracuse.